Every time I mention a clade of animals, I try to bring up what the group is named after so I can deliver the classic catchphrase, hence the name. It's very fun, but it's also something that doesn't always fit in with video topics, so I decided to give it its own video. I'm going to cover as many clades as I have time for. That's right, it's time to list animals until failure. We'll start with the primates. We are number one after all, hence the name. Now, you may be asking Zinniop, if the whole conceit of this video is explaining those etymologies, do you really need to say hence the name every time? No, not every time. I'm just going to say it whenever I can seamlessly sneak it in. Now, Eutheria, the true beasts, is mostly divided up based on what continents each creature is from, or more accurately, what continents they were on when Pangea separated, which have since become much more unhelpful. Primates are further sorted into the true rulers because humans really have a superiority complex. Next to them are the skin wings, who have wings made out of skin. These are not flying squirrels or sugar gliders. They're an unrelated third group of mammals that can glide using membranes. Tree shrews are called climbing because they can climb. I think it's pretty clear by now that most clade names aren't really unique, but this is mostly okay because animals have a lot of things to be named after. Alternatively, there are rabbits, which are rabbit-shaped. This convention is common, but only shows up in animals that have a dedicated word in the classical language. Rodents, believe it or not, isn't actually related to dent, meaning tooth. The word it comes from means to gnaw, a cognate with rat in English. Isn't linguistics weird? This is because rodents have teeth that grow all the time and gotta keep chewing. You probably knew that already. Shrews and moles and other insectivores have a sordid history. At first, we did the obvious thing, assuming they were all in one group. This was labeled Lipotyphla, fat and blind. Blind, when referring to animals, is almost never accurate. It just means you can't see their eyes. When that classification didn't work, we spread them out a bit, but most of them still ended up together, so these are the true insectivores. Bats are a fourth group of mammals with membranous wings, except these actually let it fly, and these are stretched between fingers rather than limbs, so it gains the name hand wings. Pangolins have scales. And then we have carnivore, which is variously translated as meat-eating or flesh-devouring. This is probably the most egregious case of a clade taking a much broader term, seeing as carnivores are not limited to just mammals, and even within mammals there are like dolphins, but these ones are, I guess, the ones we have the most nightmares about, sure. Odd-toed ungulates have an odd number of toes. Even-toed ungulates have an even number of toes. Nowadays, this is expanded to include whales or whales, and that rounds out the northern continent of Laurasia. Over to Gondwana, we have Macroscelidia, who have longer legs than average. I mean, it might not seem great, but most shrews are defined based on how they're different from true shrews. Similarly, Afrosoricida is defined by being from Africa, and the aardvark doesn't really look like a shrew and was never mistaken for one, and it's named because it has tube-shaped teeth. Elephants are such a famous animal that we not only have a word for them in Greek, but also specifically a word for their trunk. Hyrax. Manatees are famously named after being mistaken for... Well, now hold on. Okay, it was mermaids, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Armadillos are named after their belt, and sloths and anteaters are named after their hair. Yes, technically all mammals could be named after our hair, but we're not. You should know by now that we're named after our breasts. Marsupials are named after their pouch. Marsupials are broken down into more irrelevant orders no one really knows about, so I'll speed through them. The majority of them are named after their two front teeth. Unlike rodents, these are the lower two teeth. The moles are shaped like diggers, but they do it in the south. The Manitos del Monte is small but still alive, and the carnivorous marsupials have shaggy tails. Shrew opossums, which are another marsupial group not native to Australia, have a few warts. Bandicoots are shaped like badgers but have pouches, and regular opossums, opossa, have two wombs, which is also true of most marsupials, but I'm gonna stop pointing that out. Monotremes have a cloaca, so only one hole, hence the name. Over to birds now. Yes, I know birds are technically reptiles. We're doing this in the standard sequence, despite how inaccurate it is. Ostriches are shaped like ostriches. Tinamous are shaped like tinamous. Rheas are shaped like rheas. Cassowaries are shaped okay, so a lot of them are going to be like this. We can skip those. Kiwis are shaped like kiwis, but the word kiwi itself means it has no wings. Kiwis do have wings, but they're very tiny and internal, so they look like a two-legged Babam type character. Flamingos are shaped like they have phoenix wings, or more likely just purplish pink wings. Interestingly, they aren't naturally that color. They have to eat a lot of shrimps to make their skin turn pink. Still better than the grebes, who are shaped like they have butt feet. Their feet are further back on their body, and they also do this. The sand grice are shaped like they have famous wings. Turicos are shaped like they eat bananas. The huatzin is shaped like its hair goes backwards. Nightjars are shaped like they suck goats, different from chupacabras in that they suck milk instead of blood, the same as chupacabras in that they don't actually do that, it's a myth. Patus are shaped like they're nocturnal. Oilbirds are shaped like they're fat. The adults aren't really, but the kids are. Frogmouths are either shaped like they have gout, as this one lady on Twitter suggests, but I think it just might be that they have silvery colored feet. Hummingbirds are shaped like they don't have feet, which is less defensible than the kiwi's name was. Tropic birds are named after Phaethon, son of Helios, who nearly crashed the sun into the earth. They're both flying and at high temperatures. Sunbitterns are shaped like they have a wide tail. Penguins are shaped like they have wedge-shaped wings. Cuckoo rollers are shaped by a tiny body, and over half of them are just the name of the bird in Latin. Over to reptiles, ignoring the fact that we were already in reptiles because birds are reptiles. The term order becomes a lot broader. There are only 4 orders making up the entirety of Reptilia. Technically, there's 45 because, again, bird orders are reptile orders, but traditional taxonomy was crazy like that. Yes, there are twice as many reptile species as there are mammals. Don't worry about it. I've covered these in a previous video, but we have the scaly ones who have scales. Yes, most other reptiles do too, but in squamates, these are finer or something. I don't know. Crocodiles are crocodiles. Turtles are turtles, specifically named after their shells. This word could, in theory, be related to testicle, but not testimony. Tuatara is called beakhead in reference to the modified teeth in the middle of its snout. Amphibians are divided into 3 orders because biodiversity is a liberal myth. Frogs don't have a tail in their adult stage. Salamanders obviously do have a tail. And caecilians look like a snake without any scales. Now, over to fish. At this point, traditional phylogeny is so obviously incorrect that it's not good for me to refer to it anymore. But modern phylogeny doesn't use orders, just a series of unranked clades. But a lot of the names are preserved. So lungfish are shaped like they have horn teeth in reference to their distinctive tooth plates. Not really horn-shaped, but coelacanths are shaped like coelacanths, or that they have a hollow spine. Spine is in ray. It's the fins that are hollow. Over to Actinopterygii, the bichirs are shaped like they have multiple fins because of the distinctive ridge on their back. Sturgeons are shaped like sturgeons. Gars are shaped like they have scale bones in reference to their unique ganoid scales made partially from bone tissue. Bowfins are shaped like bowfins. Now, moving into mainline teleost fish, you might not know most of these unless you're big into fishing, specifically saltwater fishing. With that in mind, this thing called a moon eye is called hyoid teeth because it has teeth on the hyoid. Bony tongue fish are shaped like they have bony tongues. Essentially, this is because their bottom row of teeth is located on the tongue. Tarpons are shaped like, brace yourself, fish. Bonefish are shaped like they're white-ish. Spiny eels have spines on the spine, and regular eels are shaped like eels. Slick heads are shaped like they don't have scales on their head, which they don't, or perhaps they're named silvery fish. Scientists have not settled on a consensus for what terminology refers to what. Milkfish are shaped like they have an angular snout, which is not universal, but the most common species does. Carp are shaped like carp. Catfish are shaped like catfish. Piranhas are shaped like a pointed stick, or possibly they're also shaped like carp. Knife fish are in theory shaped like they're naked because all the extra bits are shaved off. But then we would expect gymnoforms, right? Gymnotiforms should be naked earfish, or maybe naked backed fish, which I think is the most compelling. That's something I don't get. How is this not easily accessible? How did we just forget what these words mean? Perhaps we will answer that in part 2, but for now, we're all out of time. Take care, sleep tight, and let the bud bugs bite a little, but not too much. They gotta work for it.